just blow your mind. Talking absolute DC and leaving everything else behind. Sayako, it's the Weird Science DC Comics Absolute DC Show. It's the Weird Science DC Comics Absolute DC Show. So let's go.
Everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Absolute DC Comics Show. And I'm here with my man Matt. What up, Matt?
What up, Jim?
What is up is Absolute Superman number 17, I believe, with Ron Ferreira on art, and it looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's getting better each issue.
Yeah, and it's a good issue. I do enjoy this book. It's still not up there. It's still not at the Batman or Wonder Woman for me, but it's definitely raised up. And I hope that people who really gave it some guff at the beginning might give this more of a chance. I think that they might have by now. I know that Absolute Flash came out. I was going to ask you if you wanted to do it, but I have been sick.
I read it. It's just a lot going on. It's just...
I'm going to read it tonight, maybe if I can. I'll probably pass out. I have the worst cough. So if suddenly, did you hear? Because we ended up doing our spotlight on our Patreon, our bonus show. And Brad's sick as well, but he couldn't get to the mute button quick enough every time he was going to cough. And he'd start really coughing and then hit the mute. And then
the rooster.
And then the rooster. Yes, the rooster. But here we are with Absolute Superman number 17. Yeah, we'll get into this right away. I'm telling you right now, I'm about to die. And in this, you'll actually see a iteration of how I felt all week when we get to Ra's al Ghul. That's how I felt.
Just defeated, you know?
Just done.
Yeah.
I have this dry cough now
Leave
for
me
like
alone.
7 days. I just want to. I want everything to end. And then Tanya will say, "Oh, here, have some NyQuil." I'm just like, it's not going to do anything.
Well, World War III started, so maybe you'll get lucky. Who knows?
Yeah, that'll be true. That is true, maybe. I'm just like I've been laying in a dark room in the bed. Then I start getting my back hurts because I'm laying down all the time. Then, because I can't breathe, my wife decides to vape ad nauseum. Vaping so much that our smoke alarm goes off. How can that happen? How does that happen?
Does she have the flavored ones?
Yeah, and it smells like crap. Flavored my ass.
And she's got that big thing she uses, it's a big looking vape thing.
Oh yeah, the thing. It looks like something that's like a sonic screwdriver. For crying out loud! Either that or it's something from what's it called? The Pinhead. They're
Hellraiser.
doing like a Hellraiser device. I don't know what's happening with this thing. Driving me nuts.
That's right, charging it all the time.
All
the
it
refills.
smells like to me is like burnt, like syrup. I don't like it.
It's vape because with cigarettes, it seemed like people had to go outside, get the cigarette, do the whole ritual. Now they just vape constantly throughout the day,
and that's all I hear is that popping and hissing. It's like popping and locking coming from that thing. I want to throw it out the window.
Does she blow like weird forms of the smoke and stuff?
I'm telling you, at one point somebody did when she first started. I think I told this to Brad, where somebody told her she had thick clouds, bro. I was like, you better stop this shit right now. You're too old to have thick clouds, bro.
Yeah,
and
clouds,
the
bro.
smoke alarm goes off. And then I'm like, doesn't that tell you one thing? First off, can you hear me hacking up a lung? I'm right here. I can't breathe already. And now I'm breathing in that shit so much that the smoke alarm. So she said, I'll fix it. She doesn't stop. She just moved the smoke alarm.
Well,
that's all she did.
Speaking of smoke alarm, last time we were recording, the smoke alarm went off at my house.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought this little machine that it's sucks the smoke when people are cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Sucks, reverse sucks it in.
Is it good?
I don't know. Haven't used it yet.
Well, I need that. I'll put it above her head.
Put her follow her around with it.
You put it it's like an umbrella.
Yeah, blow the smoke into here. And it sucks it right in.
It's the worst. But yeah, Absolute Superman 17. Jason Aaron writing.
I gotta say, Jason Aaron, this reminds me of the best stuff that he does.
Yeah, he's doing good.
And whether it was Thor back in the day or whatever.
Maybe it's because he's not doing
It's more casual.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes he goes over the top and tries to do too much. even in something as silly as Thundar, the new Thundar that he's working on, it's like he just tries to pack it with too much. This is pretty loosey-goosey. And it may be that they said, listen, we have to get to this one point. It's down the line, so just, have some fun. And he's gradually giving us, a Superman that's pretty good. This issue, again, extends and gives you more character work of how good this Superman is. And I think he's doing a really good job on it. I think he did, this reminds me of, Batman Off-World, and then some of the older stuff that he did at Marvel as
also
well.
Also that Bug, Bug Wars or whatever that is. Like
that was
too.
Good. Yeah. Becca Carey on letters. You have Ash Padilla, assistant editor, Chris Conroy on editor. It's the finale of All Together Now. Let's see, next issue, Shazam. We'll see how that is, but it's kind of cool. And this has been a Parasite deal, and it's been Hawkman and Superman kind of teaming up, even though we already knew that Hawkman was kind of a piece of crap, but you have that weird play that he's not as much of a piece of crap to Superman. And through all of this, you start to realize Superman's learning more about Hawkman. And he realizes he's not a great guy. But I think that you're getting a cool play that Jason Aaron's going with. Hawkman is kind of like, hey, he probably was a good guy. He tried to do his thing, but you can't do anything in this world. He's given up. He's completely just said, hey, but in this, though, he is helping Superman. So he's like one of those, hey, I'm going to go with Lazarus, but any chance I get, I'll try to still help out. And he's kind of looking out for, Superman. And he almost feels like he's wants to be his big brother or something, his big bro. And he's trying to tell him, you can't save everybody. There's no reason to, because Lazarus controls everything. The thing is, though, when Superman realizes that Hawkman, Carter, you know what this thing is, because suddenly he's like, oh, this parasite, and he knows a little too much. And that's when he realizes, oh, this is bad. And then we'll get to what happens. But I do like at one point where Superman's like, man, we got to figure this out. And Hawkman's like, what's there to figure out? There's a big monster. We just attack it. And he just flies through its mouth.
Yeah, you would kill it. That's fine. But the point Superman was making is that the people inside are alive still. So
yeah, and the weird thing is again, I think that it's playing out. Hawkman knows more about what's going on, but also doesn't care. The idea of okay, and it's one of those things too. You get this in comics a lot. The idea is okay, we're going to kill Parasite, and maybe 1,000 people die. But if we don't kill them, 10,000 die
or
and
more.
That's, for a Hawkman, that's fine
because it keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, that's never fine for Superman.
No,
Superman won't go with one guy dying. So, and eventually, Hawkman does spell out: if this parasite gets you, then we're screwed. We're screwed. He will end up having all the power of whatever, and eventually that does happen for a kind of a millisecond kind of deal, and it's pretty cool.
And this parasite is made up of humans, right? The whole thing?
Yeah, it looks like the whole thing is just kind of absorbing them into them. And it's still this parasite deal, but it's getting bigger and bigger with each human. And it feeds off of fear, it seems. And their, anger or fear or whatnot. It almost feels like when you go in and see Carter, it almost is like an anti-Black Mercy. Is kind of how it
because you're in a nightmare rather than a dream.
Yeah, you're kind of reliving because it wants you to fear and get all that. Yeah, that one sucked. And again, not that Superman, he says, I can't read your mind, but Carter's saying some bad things, I didn't mean to kill them all or whatever, and he realizes, oh, he's not that bad. But Jimmy gets it right away. Jimmy looks horrendous. Again, I like the idea too. It's basically that play of watching all of the video screens where your eyes are kept open or whatever. He's kind of in the parasite that. Lois ends up getting, almost shooting Jimmy.
Yeah, she's ready to just put him out of his misery.
He says, please kill me. And she almost does it, but then she jumps off this pier to get away from him. But she does get caught. But in the meantime, that's when Superman and Hawkman start fighting. And they're just going back. And the whole issue is pretty much Superman saying, we got to save them. And Hawkman saying, you can't save him. We got to kill it. We got to kill this and then figure out that shit later. But I liked it. I liked the way that it played out. And it gave you some good Hawkman stuff, too. In the meantime, you do have Raish. And this is me. I'm right in my bed. And Tanya comes in and says, "Here's, some soup or something." I'm like, "I don't need that. I'm done. I just want it to end." Again, though, it shows you there, like he wants to die. Superman's kind of taught him the lesson. Like, yeah, it's over. I don't want to do this, and she just is going to force him to do it.
It's probably that, and a combination of he realizes he probably should be in jail.
He went through all that. Remember, he's reading all those cards and things from the kids, and he ends up wanting to just stay there. She does eventually just say, we're going to go. I'm taking you to Lazarus, which is, it's kind of a shame because he kind of realizes that he should be there, like you said. And then he kind of puts that card down and says, "Sorry, Superman."
Even that look of Talia is awesome. Every time I see it, like that sword she carries around and that mask.
It's awesome. I'm telling you, at first I didn't love Hawkman. I think I like him more, especially with
poses, but he's cool.
Yeah. When he his very angular at points from the side. So that's all going on, and again, you're just having this long fight with Parasite versus Superman versus Carter. I like when Parasite just like bitch slaps them into that high rise. It's just like one arm, just boom, and hits him in, and that's when you end up saying, Carter says, "Open your eyes. This parasite gets its hooks into people. It don't let go. We got to kill it while we can." He's like, I can't do it. I still think that these people are, the deal. And he says, "You know what this creature is, don't you? You know where it came from." This is when he's realizing, oh, you piece of crap. Like, you know everything about this. And we do find out it's a Lazarus thing. Lazarus ended up getting it and torturing it. So by the end, you will have Superman even wanting to kind of, take it into the menagerie or whatever, the zoo in his fortress, but actually try to help Parasite as well. So that's why I like that you get a bit of this Superman, that he is a good guy. He's becoming more and more of a good guy.
Yeah, he started off kind of like a loner, just a weird, you didn't know what, he kind of apathetic about stuff, and now he's getting more involved.
Yeah, and I think that before, when he would do stuff with the whole Krypton stuff too, where he was against Lazarus, like, oh, he went and there's the mines. It felt like more, in my mind, it felt like he was more wanting to get at Lazarus than actually help the people.
Yes.
He was helping them, but he wanted to stick it to Lazarus because, man, they're putting us down. And that kind of was what happened with his family and stuff on Krypton. But now it is like he's realizing, and I think that that's what people needed. At the beginning, it did feel like he was too much of a loner. He was too dark, and people weren't going for it. But I'll give Jason Aaron credit. It wasn't like it changed overnight.
No, it was a slow burn.
Yeah, and he really slow burned it, and it ended up. I think it makes more sense now. Like, if you have read all of them, you kind of have gone through this journey with them. But at this point, like I think I said it last issue. Each time we read it, it's like, oh man, this is more Superman. This is more like Superman. This is more, and it is. I think it's pretty good. Again, he's also kind of fighting Carter, but kind of like, yeah, we'll deal with you later. But Carter gets caught. He ends up, but he says, I got to get Lois. And he goes and gets Lois and rips Lois out of Parasite. And the best is that him and Carter at one point are like, I was so strong, I ripped that Lois out of the Parasite with my muscles. And she ends up saying,
no, he let me go.
It wasn't that. Yeah, it was. It let me go. And they're like, what? And if Parasite feeds off this fear and all this craziness, and when I saw you, I knew that I was going to be free. I actually had hope. And again, which is really good for Superman deal. And when we say this, when you talk about this sort of thing sometimes, it feels like it's a bit hokey, or it's like, oh, this isn't over the top. It's not like the idea that it's like really forced. But she says, once I saw you, I knew I'd be fine. It didn't have anything to feed off. It let me go. So what you need to do is go and let all the people in this parasite know that you're there with them. Now, I didn't think that meant to go and get captured by Parasite. I thought he was going to get like a megaphone or something stupid. But so
no,
she's
it's cool because that is really the only thing that could counteract it. Because Parasite's so strong. I mean,
I mean, Jesus, he's already huge. And in the meantime, while this is going on, Carter's pretty pissed. He's like, and when they're saying with Superman's like, okay, I think I'm going to do this, but that's when Carter says, if he starts shotgunning Superman juice, we're screwed. We don't know what this thing will become.
That's how it is in the regular universe too.
Yeah, it's cool because I like the way that what Jason Aaron does as well is he does go and goes to Parasite and says, hey, and he tries to reason with Parasite. And he's like, I'm Kal-El, Krypton. I don't know if you're hurting these people on purpose or if you're just hungry, but it has to. And then all of a sudden he's going to say stop, and it just gets him. And then it explodes. And even Carter's like, holy crap, I didn't know this guy was this powerful. Like the amount of energy and just whatever. Though it's funny because you're playing two things then. You're playing the power of Superman, but you're also saying that it feeds off the fear to get bigger, but it's fine. It ends up just being like blocks and black, like it's the whole town now.
Yeah,
the whole
city,
like it seems.
The power of positive thinking, really.
Yeah, I guess. It's the power of love. But it goes and it looks great.
Yeah.
And so
disgusting, but great.
Hawkman gets captured as well. But through this whole thing, Superman's just going to remain calm and try to reach out to everybody inside of the whole Parasite. I actually was confused. I didn't quite realize at first that you can see it's a cross section. Juan loves doing these of Hawkman. But at first I was like, what is he? Oh, it's Hawkman. But he goes and there's Carter, just a man. And he's like, stay back. And he's kind of being attacked by a bunch of, it's the classic. He's being attacked by a bunch of skeletons and things of the people he killed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it's all right. And he's like, stay back, everybody. I didn't mean to do this. I had to do it, whatever. And now Superman kind of sees into Carter. Now he says, I can't read your mind. But you end up where Carter says, Superman, is that you? Tell them to go away. Tell them they had to die. I did it for the greater good. And that's where Superman's like, I don't know what you're seeing. I can't read your mind. But he kind of gets that it's bad.
And he was seeing a Superboy, too.
Yeah. That's the funniest thing, too, is when he comes in. It is Carter as the archaeologist and Superboy, like little boy Superman.
Like little
which I thought
John
that was
Kent.
pretty cool. And maybe that's Superman being like how innocent he is in that, or it's Carter seeing him that way, or whatever. But I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then he ends up where he says, right now, I'm doing the same for all 2,779,388 people in Metropolis, not to mention the dogs and cats and pigeons and carp from the Hobbs River. So he's saving everybody. Again, when you play that game of, hey, Superman, you can't save everybody. Like you never throw in the carp. So he's going way over the top of like, I'm saving everybody, including those stupid carp. I had a friend who had like a carp pun. Stupid things.
Nonsense.
I actually was afraid to get anywhere near it. I thought I know they wouldn't do anything, but they're always big and ugly. But says, and then even that, where Carter says, look at you, you're a child. You're so far over your head. You have no other idea what this world is, what it does to you. Saints don't survive here, Superman. This world's going to break you. And that's a big line. Also, another bigger line was when he said to Lois. Lois basically said, he's a good guy. And Carter kind of said, yeah, I've seen these guys before. They burn themselves out. They end up thinking they're going to do things, and that's not what this world is. And that's the kind of cool play. And I think that when I talk about Martian Manhunter and I say, yeah, this Martian Manhunter, they're trying to play the idea of anger in a world that's already infused with it. Mm-hmm. And this is where I think that one of the big things of Superman is you're on a world. Now, you could go with the idea, is Earth the Omega Earth or is it the Omega Unit? Whatever it would be. But Superman showing up on this Earth, I think, throws a wrench in anything because it is a dark side Omega darkness deal, right? And he's hope.
Do we get that feeling from any of the actual absolute issues, or is it just from that KO event? I never get the feeling that it's real dark.
The only thing I get is that, like, it's weird. In this book, I would go with, in this issue of him, Carter saying it, he's kind of pushing it. I wish, remember when at one point we said that this was the one book that we actually saw more of the world, like the Lazarus Corporation and things like that. Yeah. The only thing we get is Batman's big. He's kind of on his own. Wonder Woman, hell is different. I think this book's starting to show it more. And I think that that's a pretty cool thing.
But I agree. I just think it's not as overwhelming as they like to act like it is.
Yeah, I just always go from the initial, explanation or whatever. But yeah, we probably should see it more and more. But I guess how do you show it? A lot of times, I think you can show it good with this because Superman.
When you see just cities on fire and just an unrest and wars and all sorts of stuff going on.
I mean, if it's dark, you wouldn't want to ruin everything for yourself.
Their celebrities would be murderers. I don't know.
It'd be funny if it was just people don't talk to their neighbors. Oh, that's what happens here on this earth. I actually was waiting for the end for Scott Snyder to reveal, no, this is just our earth. We're all a bunch of assholes. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I do think that you're starting to set up where, Carter, it looks like at one point maybe he wanted to be a better guy, but he realized why. It never works. And there's been a bunch of mentions. It's more in this book, but a bunch of mentions of other heroes that have shown up and have been killed, or other heroes that burned out, or other heroes like Carter was switched over. So that's interesting. That's pretty cool. Say, a JSA. Back in the day, that we're going to do good, and then they end up just being kind of a piece of shit because that's what ends up happening is probably the deal. And that's when, Superman just explodes. Parasite. I mean, this city has to just smells like just crap with all this shit all over the place. But he ends up saving them. And even then, Carter's amazed. How the hell did you do that? This is a weird thing too, though, because everybody then are they're gathering around. They're he was with me. Superman was, no, he was with me. He was with me. And then the big deal Carter says, how did you do that? And he goes, I don't know. I'm Superman. And then Carter goes, all I heard was mumbling. Talk like a man. I'm
that's
what
weird.
Is that line?
Because he goes, I don't know. I'm Superman. He didn't talk very loud, I guess.
Yeah, but it's a weird line to say.
You're not talking loud enough for me.
Talk like a man. He's
I'm deaf.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. That was a really odd line.
It was.
The only line I thought was off in the whole thing.
Because you could have made it you couldn't read the text. That might have worked better.
Yeah, do that. And he could have said, speak up, asshole. I could go with that. But not, all I heard was not, it's very odd. But when he's saying that, you do have that cool thing. This is where Jason Aaron does a really good job. Because that's right when Raish, he's going to leave with Talia, but he's putting that card down and says, yeah, Talia, I'm coming. Apologize, Superman, but we are who we are. Again, this is what this issue seems to be about. Carter, I think that this does put a little, inkling in there for Carter to maybe be a little better as well. And he has been. I mean, I don't think he's there, and he calls Talia right away. But I think that he did more with than he was really supposed to. It seemed like some of the things he told him he probably wasn't supposed to. So he's doing that. Again, Raish wanted to just die, be a better guy, but hey, the world's set in this way of everybody has to do what they're supposed to do, and it kind of sucks. And I thought it played out really well. Then Parasite's in a shoebox. I didn't get that. Also, what is he doing?
I don't like
He's
that.
Then Superman's got Velma flying her the hell around. I'm what is he doing? What are they doing? Victory laps here? But yeah, he ends up where Jimmy taking pictures. But yeah, that shoebox deal. But that's where he says, again, Carter, I think, is impressed by Superman and says, hey, son, I got to tell you this. I'm not your son. All of a sudden, he's so angry at him. He's look, let me say this and whatever. You remember what happened in there? What I said to you? Because, he said before the deal. And he says, I know who you work for. I want you to give a message to Lazarus. Everyone like them. I'm coming for them. And he says, I'm done with them. I am done. And he gets mad. It looks awesome.
Also, Lois and Hawkman know each other, too.
Yeah, they did. And, they were kind of giving each other shit.
Yeah, Lois doesn't like him very much.
No. She kind of knows more. That's the thing, too. Lois, you said she has a gun. She's ex-Lazarus sort of thing. Everybody has some darkness to him, which is cool. Again, it fits
even
the
Jimmy
whole
has
deal.
Darkness to him.
Yeah. Jimmy was part of the deal too.
Yeah,
he was with Talia, and so Superman blasts off. And again, I think that's another thing. I think that people at the beginning, remember at points Superman was mad and angry, but he was more just I don't know, not a brat angry, but angry in a way that wasn't like, this is now more Superman. And he says, tell them Superman's not for sale.
It was like he was an angry, brooding teenager.
Yeah, well, that
kind of didn't know how to put his words together, but now he's figuring it out.
And I like that. But remember at the beginning, all you heard about was the emo haircut.
Emo, yeah.
And the idea that he was like an emo kid who was pissed off and he's this and that. It's starting to fit better. But I think
he'll eventually cut the hair. He'll go with the normal haircut eventually.
So. I don't know. When he's there and he says, tell him Superman's not for sale. Kind of like
that looks like Eddie Barrows or whatever from the Superman issues.
Yeah.
That crazy smile.
Yeah, I don't know. He's fucking mad. I do. I think that at points like that, he kind of reminds me of Superboy Prime.
Yeah.
And the hair kind of has that Superboy Prime deal. But he says he zips off. He just blasts off. And then Hawkman's like, hey, Charlie, it's Hawkman. We got a problem. So I like that. I thought that was pretty cool. And then we go to Missouri. We go back to this Lex stuff, which I forgot about. We had said, what is he going to do? Is he going to kill it? He kills everyone.
The best part is when they show Missouri, right? It looks like everything's fine. Like the cars are in the driveway. The lights are on. Everything's good. Not the case.
You go to that backyard. It's just Blood City. And boy, he's got Lex tied up to the post.
Clockwork Orange.
Eyes out. Yeah, Clockwork Orange shit going. All this stuff. And then you just see him where he's like, you take this and make yourself more interesting. Use all the shit that happened here and make yourself, and then cuts him down and walks away. And then you just see half heads and bodies and other heads. It's
the worst when they cut through the jawline. So half
that's the
head
worst.
is in half.
You see the head, like the one part's in the middle and then the other part is over the side. Oh, it's bad. And
and at first you don't know until you turn the page. You're like, why is Brainiac so bloody? What's going on here?
Yeah. He's done. Everybody's done. He just walks away. So that's pretty crazy. But that's cool. I thought it was a really good issue. So
the next issue, Shazam. So that should be cool too.
Yeah. So we'll see how that is, and we'll see what's going on with that.
So many things they could go with that direction.
Yeah. It's cool to get these or new introductions and things like that and see how it'll work.
And I like that Jason Aaron's doing that. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, and I think that it's cool too because you kind of need Lois around, but I'd like to see Superman interact with somebody, maybe give him some tips and pointers, or who knows, maybe it's somebody who's already on the take. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah. But what would you give it?
I was going to go pretty high on this one. I was going to go 8.5. But then I'm like, I really like those last two pages, so I'm going 9.
I think I'll go 9. I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
It is.
And like I said, Jason Aaron is impressing me with how, with that slow burn, that it's starting to pay off big time. Like some of the things with Superman that I'm really enjoying. So
and the characters are just different enough that it's interesting. It's not they're not crazily different, but they're still here, but they're different.
You know what I hear so much? It's all haircuts. Like, people didn't like Lois when she showed up. I don't like her haircut.
I like her.
Yeah, I do too.
She's got those purple eyes. I like her haircut.
Yeah. And I ended up really liking Hawkman. He's a piece of crap, but I really liked the character because it was more, it was more than just a one-dimensional thing. They could have had him just show up and try to beat up Superman and whatever, have this fight, but he tried to help him, but he doesn't. Superman's too good, but I think that's the play. I think the hope of Superman is going to get to Carter and make him a better guy as well. So I think it'll be pretty cool. So I hope everybody liked the show. I hope everybody read this and liked it as well, because I thought it was really, really good. I don't know what books are next week, but we'll be back with something, I'm sure. And me and you are going to go off and do the intro and outro to our regular show. So we will get out of here. Thanks, everyone. As always, thanks, Matt, for joining me. Gray is not here, but we'll end with his song. So here we go, and we'll talk to you later.
「私はもう本性の愛です」「私にからかわないでください」「そうしないとあなたは消えてしまいます」「私は普通の男です」「でも私はあなたを殺します」「だからその 取ってください足元に